Don't we all wish we were in Dan's shoes today? Well, here comes the meat and potatoes of this advanced club. Our speaker this morning is Dan Plows. Dan has been a member of numerous home clubs, a specialty club, and an advanced club. At one point in his career, Dan was also a professional baker. Would you please help me welcome Dan Plows.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm hung in more ways than one. After Nancy Jo told me about that evaluation, am I a little eerie? Yes, I am. But I would like to know, how many people in here like to eat cake? Is there anyone that doesn't like to eat cake? You're in the right place. Is there anyone in this room that has ever decorated a cake? Oh, wow. We know where this speech is going. Today we're going to do a little decorating. Maybe. What I have on the board here are two cakes. They're similar. Each cake has 3 layers. You will see there's a base layer, and it supports the middle layer. The middle layer supports the top layer. And guess what? That's exactly what's supposed to happen in Toastmasters. We're supposed to support each other, right? Mm-hmm. Yes. Suppose for just a moment, or 2 or 3 moments, that these cakes represent Toastmaster clubs. Let's say that this cake on the left represents a home club or a regular club. And let's say that the cake on the right is an advanced club. Now remember, like Adrian was saying, we have the basics here. Both cakes are pretty much the same. But there is a tiny difference between cakes, between a home club and a regular club. And I would like to point out a few of the differences and some of the similarities between the two. Can everybody over there see that lectern? In a home club, your speeches are generally 5 to 7 minutes. Sometimes you have 6 to 8, sometimes you have 10 to 12, sometimes you might have 14 to 16 or something like that, but it's rare. Usually what happens in a home club, if you go over 5 to 7 minutes, you screw up the rest of the agenda. It's true. I was in the club and I was working in the manual one time and I needed to give a longer speech. They told me I couldn't do it. They told me I couldn't do it. I'd have to do it outside the club or I'd have to join an advanced club somewhere. Which is what I did. Over here, in advanced clubs, if you want to speak 5 to 7 minutes, that's great. You can do it. If you want to speak 2 to 3 minutes, make it an introduction for someone. You know, working on that. You can do it. I've actually seen evaluations that were longer than the speeches. You can do these types of things in an advanced club. You can speak longer in an advanced club. Advanced clubs are made for speaking longer because some of these projects that we have in our manuals are longer speeches. If you get into the professionally speaking manual, what happens? I think that there's a speech, if I remember correctly, in the back of that manual, which lasts 50 minutes with breakout sessions. Can you do that in a regular club? Difficult. in an advanced club. Yes, we would love it. We would love it. Advanced clubs usually run for an hour and a half or 2 hours. It makes a big difference. What else does an advanced club have up here in the speaking area? Microphone skills. I don't happen to have one today, but that's usually what happens. And it's usually not just one microphone or one kind of microphone. It's usually several. There's a club called Professionally Speaking in Bellevue Square, Microsoft store. You learn how to run the microphone that wraps around, comes around like this. You have a lapel microphone, and you have a microphone that's a cordless that you hold in your hand. You learn how to run all three. Is that important? Someone handed me a microphone once. You know what I did? I gestured with the microphone. They heard about every third word. I didn't know what I was doing. Thankfully for our speech contest, we usually have lapel mics. That works really, really good because a lot of the people that are in speech contests, they don't have any better microphone skills than I have. It's not good. Advanced clubs, you get the microphone skills that you need. What else? Video, right there. Everyone turn around and look at that video. Smile, yeah. Kathy is videoing this presentation. Is that important? Yeah. I know someone who was a professional trainer their entire career. Then video cameras came out. He saw himself on a video camera and he said, "My gosh." I gave presentations for years and I had my arm going up and down like a stop sign at a railroad crossing. He never knew it. He saw himself on video one time, and he corrected that mistake. That's the importance of video. Over here, evaluations. You work on a speech for hours, for days, for weeks, a month. Competition speech, you might work on it a whole year. And what do you get? 2 to 3 minute evaluations. Does that suck or what? Yeah. 2 to 3 minute evaluation. Sure, somebody's going to also write you some little note cards, and they give you 90 seconds to do that. It's not good. I personally feel cheated. Over here in an advanced club, you get 2 to 3 minute evaluations by one person. And then they usually go around and it's a round-robin evaluation to everyone else in the room. If there's 30 members in an advanced club, that isn't a lot. That is an awful lot, I have it now, of extra feedback. And if they don't do round-robin, they may have 4 different evaluators. One will evaluate content, one will evaluate gestures, one will evaluate your manuals, similar to what's going to be happening here today. Is that going to give me some extra feedback when I get my speech evaluated today by all of the room? Yes. There's one particular advanced club called Sunipers. And they do a round-robin evaluation, and sometimes they also do the multiple evaluators. And it usually comes out to where the evaluations are almost 10 minutes long when you put together what everybody says about the evaluations. Now that's longer than a regular speech, but most of the speeches at that particular club are 10 to 12. It makes a difference. It really makes a difference. Especially when as your speech gets longer, your evaluation should also get longer because you're evaluating more gestures, more content, more of everything. Make sense? Yeah. Then we come down here to leadership. Leadership opportunities. We have club officer roles. That's where we get a lot of our leadership in a basic home club. It's officer roles. We get some special occasion roles. When we put on a club contest, there's usually a contest chair and judges and someone bringing refreshments and different things like that. And those are leadership skills. And we also put on open houses sometimes at home clubs, or speechcrafts or something like that. And people have to, participate in these particular things in a leadership role. Sometimes it's leadership role where someone's delegated something to you, but that's all part of the game. What happens over here in an advanced club? You get these same things. They have special meetings, different things like that. Plus, club officer roles are a little bit different. A little bit different. You notice up there it says orange and iPad and white. That's my code. This is what I got when I came in the door to the Microsoft store in Bellevue Square. This is where professionally speaking meets once a week. Once a month. And they gave me this nice little thing which tells about how they run the club, who the officers are in the club, more propaganda about the club, and where and when the meetings are. And guess what? This nifty little thing here is the same thing that you filled out today. It's an application. And they already have the top part of it filled out. The club number is already there. And they have the second page filled out. And they already have it signed. You have very little to do to join this club. They make it super convenient for you. And they put all of that nice little information in here. And the vice president of membership makes sure that you get one of these when you enter the door. And she also, by the way, she was one of the presenters here at Yakima when we had the fall conference here, Teresa. You remember, Tom? She also sends me these cute little emails. Can you hear me now? You know you want to be a professional speaking tonight. You will be entertained and exposed to passion in action. And then she tells who the speaker is. To make sure you don't miss out on professionally speaking special programs and events, join our Facebook club. Officer roles in an advanced club are just a little bit more serious. The person in this membership here, they're on the ball. Every month, Teresa sends me one of these things. I keep going in there and sitting through meetings, but because we're going to start this club, I hope, I'm a little reluctant, to sign up there. And she keeps tagging me with these emails. And she will continue to do that and continue to do that until either I say, Teresa, I'm in another advanced club, or I commit to that club. Secretary. Now what happens when someone's a secretary at an advanced club? Deborah, I believe that's you. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Right. And what do? The secretary takes the minutes of the meeting. And then what? Anybody guess?
Emails them.
That's right. By email. You can read your email and you can see the minutes of the entire meeting. You think that's good? Yeah. And they also list who was in attendance.